So Mayuri, she was depressed about her chicken and bananas. So she skipped her daily costume sewing and went home. Grudges over food run deep, I guess. Which leaves the lab empty, save for Daru and me. Our enthusiasm shot through the roof when we realized that the phone wave, needs a little change, had tremendous hidden potential. We nearly died of excitement after successfully sending an email to the past. So we stayed up all night doing experiments to confirm whether or not the phone wave, needs a little change, is indeed a time machine. The thing is though, from what we gleaned, we did that whole send a message like right at the beginning, and Daru got that message like a week ago or so, if I remember correctly, about Maki says stabbing and all that. And that was when I said to myself that we are in a completely different timeline, and therefore we are in a completely different world where that Daru is a little bit different. Different in the sense that he got that message like a week ago, and therefore he has that extra information, versus Daru previously who didn't get the message. In this case, Daru sent that message to us, and it's not as if we gained like an extra memory telling us, wait, I remember getting this email like a week ago. No, Rintaro in this case found the email, and yes, it got sent like 5 days ago. So there's a bit of a difference. Cause what does that mean? Does that mean that we're now in a new timeline, or is it the same timeline? Cause if we were to repeat the same thing as before, where Rintaro would send Daru a message again, saying that Daru is a pervert, in this case, he would get the message after that experiment, and would he say, yep, I got the message, or would he say, wait a minute, this message? I got this message like 5 days ago. So there is a bit of a difference here that, like, I don't know. The results, however, we went to the supermarket and stocked up on a wide variety of items. We tossed each of them into the phone wave, instead of change, but everything failed. No change, nothing happened. Wait, what? What happened? Does it not do like anything at all? After the experiment where the discharge phenomenon occurred, everything wound up normally. No jettification. Ah, damn it. Okay, well, how do we prepare the phone wave for more jettification / time machine shenanigans? Suddenly, we couldn't get anything to happen. Still have no idea why. Like, the thing about this is that there's definitely some deterioration going on. I mean, not just with the bananas, but also the message, because the messages either are fragmented, like sent into chunks, and not even completed like at all. So, like, it's definitely not a perfect time machine. If we were to try send a person, which we wouldn't be able to do that in the first place, I think, because it's just a small phone. We cannot insert like a person inside of it. But if we had like a bigger phone wave, chances are we're gonna be kidding somebody if we were to try this on a human. We could try it on a rat. First, let's review the problems revealed by this last run of experiments. Problem 1. Electrical discharge safety precautions. We removed everything flammable from the development room to reduce the risk of fire. We also prepared 2 fire buckets full of water, just in case. Okay. But that's not a fundamental solution. We'll keep an eye out from now on. But if things get dangerous, we should seriously consider relocating our experiments. Yeah, so like, what is the difference between the banana experiment and like the message experiment? I mean, there is a time difference, that's for sure. I don't really understand, like, because if we put like a physical object inside and we cook it up for a little bit, it gets sent back in time like a couple of seconds prior. But when it comes to data, like the phone, like it's either like 5 days ago or a week ago, for while we are putting the chicken inside for God knows how long, like a couple of seconds. Well, actually, yeah, I keep forgetting about the chicken. So the chicken is in similar case with the banana. It's the data that is very different in the way that it's sent back in time. Like it gets sent back like a long time ago. Problem 2. Mass increase. When the discharge phenomenon occurs, the phone wave, instead will change, suddenly gains mass for unknown reason. Because of this, the microwave broke the table and made the dent in the floor. Yeah, not just that, but... So, I get the feeling that if it wasn't for the message, that discharge or sudden increase in mass would not have happened. The chicken would have gone back to defrosting, I guess, like an earlier stage, in a more destroyed stage too, similar to the banana. But yeah, I think it's because the data that we toyed with. To deal with the issue, we placed the microwave on the floor. We spread cushions and blankets underneath. This hides the hole in the floor too. It's only a temporary fix though. If we make any more holes, Mr. Brown is quite capable of raising my rent. And that's to say nothing of the calamity it will cause if it falls through the floor. Yeah... we are above the shop, right? It's probably gonna destroy a bunch of TVs. Anyway, we need to find the source of the mass increase. If amateurs like us even can, that is. But the first two problems pale before the third. This last problem is critical. Until we solve it, we can't even really experiment with the phone wave. Name subject to change. Problem 3. We weren't even sure of the necessary conditions to send email to the past. No matter how many times we tried, we couldn't pin down a single condition. We spent the entire night doing trial and error. We tried over 40 different things, but not once could we reproduce the discharge phenomenon. I mean, since I said what I said before, I don't think it even matters to put anything like inside the microwave. We can just let the microwave run by itself and try to send messages to each other as long as the phone is connected and all that. I had the idea that opening the microwave door was the key. That theory was proven false. I had that too, because Mayuri opened the microwave door before the allotted time, I guess. Was that it? Is that what happened before too? There might be something else I'm missing, but for now we're at an impasse. We started off in high spirits, but grew more and more frustrated as time progressed, which brings us to our present. Honestly, I gave up. That's why I spent the entire morning lazing about like this. Yep. Another email pops up on my phone. Alright. Let's see. Shining Finger? Yeah, Shining Finger. I haven't gotten a reply yet. Are you still asleep? You sleep too much, Okapi-kun. You're living like an old man. Well, I guess I'm not one to talk, Lamau. Anyway, let me know when you have something on the BN 5100, pretty please. Okay. Sweetie, it's not... you gotta keep... you gotta give people a little bit of a window. Like, don't remind them and all that about stuff like they haven't gotten a reply or any stuff like that. It's gonna take some time getting used to this. I've been getting way too many of these since yesterday. They're all from Shining Finger, a woman called Kiryu Moeka. I've never used email this often before. Emailing is really not a great way of communicating to begin with. I mean, I say this with the current ways of technology from 2026, from where I am, where we use like Discords and DMs and all that, so email is more of a professional send attachments and, you know, updates and stuff like that. In the earlier days, people more than likely... Actually, I don't know. I cannot say for sure. Because we also had like forums, I think. Did we have like forums by the end of the 90s? Where people could communicate? But that is on the computer, that is. I don't know. Frankly, this is starting to get on my nerves. I saw how fast Shining Finger typed. That should have been enough to tip me off that she was a male demon. I was careless. It's too much of a pain to replay, so I ignored. I finished off my bottle of Dr. P. My stomach gurgles. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. Bottom line, I think that we need like a better way of communicating besides email and all that. Oh, this one is from Mayuri. Mayushi is spending money. It's getting dangerously low. And I'll need to chip in too sometimes. You don't want to get between me and my food. Oh no. Don't get angry. Next time I'll treat you to anything you want to eat. So keep buying more bananas for the sake of our experiments. You eat too much anyway. Go on the diet before it's too late. Okay, come on. Alright, well, this one is less mean. I mean, we gotta use something for the experiments, I guess. There. I'm so hungry. I don't even feel like showering. I call out Darum, who's hammering on the keyboard.
Na, Sambo ni gyudon demo kui ni ikanai ka?
Mendoi.
腹は減ってないのか？
減ったけどさ。
煮え切らない男め。
What is he doing on the computer? What is he doing on the computer anyway? I'm curious, so I casually peek over his shoulder. More fighty stuff? Oh, there's an image of a futuristic looking facility I've never seen before. The richly colored cords crawl through a gigantic octagonal tunnel, like the interior of a spaceship from a sci-fi movie. What are you looking at, like a Hardon Colliander? Based on the height of the people in the picture, the tunnel looks to be more than 10 meters tall. Incidentally, the people don't look Japanese. Daru sighs heartily. Are you okay? I don't know if the blank look in his eyes is from sleepiness, exhaustion, or something's just wrong with him.
ラージハドロンコライダーにはマジ癒されるよな。
貴様、今何と言った？
First time that I'm hearing somebody say that the Large Hydron Collider is cute. Someone make an isekai out of that one. My large Hydron Collider cannot be this cute. Large Hardon Collider? Oh, dummy. Is that an incantation? No. A secret technique?
ラージハドロンコライダー。知らんの？
I grabbed out of his relaxed shoulders and wringed them out.
何すんだよ。
寝ぼけているのか？
寝ぼけてないよ。
そのラージハドロンコライダーとは何なんだ？
セルンだよ。セルン。その施設の実験装置。略称は LHC。マジ燃えるからおぬぬめ。
お前、人でないものにも性欲を。
ねえよ。でもなんつうの？見ててワクワクするっつうの？ニヤニヤできるっつうの？そんな感じってあるやん。
そういえば少し前は工場や高速道路の高架下がたまらないとか言っていたな。
そうそう、あれと一緒。
節操がなさすぎる。
2D, 3D, and even inanimate objects.
ジャンル分けして自分で興味の対象を狭める方がもったいなくね？
And yet, you'll do anything to avoid things that don't interest you. Hypocrite.
セルンか。
That name. I've seen it somewhere. And recently. What was it again? Ah, of course.
ジョン・タイター。
ああ、ジョン・タイター。オカリンが言ってたのって今アットチェンで祭りになってるやつのことだったんだな。
それは偽物である可能性もある。俺が言っているジョン・タイターは10年前に現れた方だ。
The Large Hadron Collider. If CERN are trying to create like time machines, they could do some crazy stuff with the Large Hadron Collider in the process.
10年前にも現れたん？同一人物？
I had hoped that Dado would remember, but no such luck.
とにかくジョン・タイターがセルンのことについて触れていた。
I don't remember all of it, but there's one thing I'm sure of.
タイターはこんな予言を残した。すなわち、2034年までにセルンがタイムマシンを完成させると。
Yeah, that's what he said.
おお、タイムマシン。まさにタイムリーな話題じゃん。でもそれって10年前じゃなくて、今のタイターも言ってた気がす。
Weird. Like, first we have Makise Kurisu's conference on time machines. Then we have John Tyler, who is posting on the internet as if it's their first time, even though for Rintaro, John Tyler posted like 10 years ago about time machine, and now we have this experiment that tells us that the message got sent back in time, and all the stuff with the chicken and the bananas, all happening in the span of a couple of days. Such huge cosmic coincidence. What is it?
10年前だろうが今だろうがどちらでもいい。それより気にならないか、ダル。この奇妙な符号はシュタインズゲートの選択である可能性が高い。
タイターって信頼できるん？
信頼できるかできないかはどうでもいいのだ。俺たちと奴は今タイムマシンというキーワードでつながっている。そのタイターが言及したセルンについて念のために調べたとしても損にはならないはず。
Vigor returns to my body. Curiosity truly is the greatest delicacy for a mad scientist like me. Anyway, the phone wave, name set to the change, experiment has hit a dead end for now. So it shouldn't matter if I make a little detour for this. And
セルンについて詳しく。
already hitting the roadblock on the phone wave? I mean...
OK。僕のセルンフォルダが火を吹くぜ。
Dado strikes his keys with renewed passion. He goes to the My Pictures folder and opens a folder literally called CERN.
セルンは世界最大の素粒子物理学の研究施設だよ。ヨーロッパ素粒子物理学研究所だとか、欧州素粒子原子核研究機構みたいな通称で呼ばれることもある。スイスとフランスの国境近く、ジュネーブ郊外にあってさ、古いところだと HTML や HTTP、ワールドワイドウェブを生み出したところってんで有名。
Okay. Okay, abbreviated as WWW, also simply called Web, the standardized document system used on the internet, hypertext transfer protocol, yada 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 yada, hypertext markup language, yada 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 yada. Okay.
ワールドワイドウェブだと。それってインターネットの？
ビンゴ URL の最初についてるやつ。
CERN invented that? Huh. All I know about CERN is what I read Tyler's book. That sentence felt wrong. I never knew they were that amazing.
日本じゃそんなに馴染みはないけど、日本の研究チームも現在進行形で参加してたりするのだぜ。
セルンはどんな研究を？
基本的には素粒子物理学かな。
I wonder if Moeka works for them.
世界でも唯一セルンしか持ってない超でかい実験装置を持ってるんだ。いわゆる粒子加速器ってやつ。低速汎用子蓄積リング、陽子シンクロトロンブースター、大型電子陽電子コライダーで、ラスボスは世界最大を誇る LHC ラージハドロンコライダータン。
Done? Really? Again, Okay, well, they're gonna explain it here. Otaku possesses the ability to anthropomorphize in Moe form. Just about anything in the world simply by sticking Tan on the end of its name. Daru's powers encompass even particle accelerators. Yeah, he has this obsession with like technological stuff to a point that he becomes infatuated with some stuff. Makes sense that they would anthropomorphize some stuff. Daru doesn't seem to notice my shock. He just brings up the next image.
LHC はセルンの地下にある全長約27キロのサークル状トンネルに設置された粒子加速器なんだよ。陽子同士をそのトンネルで加速させて衝突させることで未知の素粒子反応を起こそうって実験を去年あたりから始めてる。
Okay, yeah.
まあ実験開始前はその実験でミニブラックホールが作られちゃうかもって噂もあったな。そのミニブラックホールに地球が飲み込まれる、宇宙がやばいみたいな。
Mini black holes. I'm pretty sure Titus said his time machine used mini black holes. Yeah, Kern black holes. Are the things he said about CERN true?
現実にそうなる可能性は？
あるわねえよ。セルンが公式に否定してる。もし仮にミニブラックホールが生成されたとしてもエネルギー量はすごく小さいから生まれた瞬間に消えるね。地球を飲み込むなんて全然無理っしょ。
だが火のないところに煙は立たない。
If I remember correctly, Titor claimed that CERN began time machine research in 2001. In 2034, they completed the time machine. Right now, it's 2010. If they actually started that research, it would have been 9 years ago. According to their official announcements, they only began experimenting in 2008. That's suspicious. Of course, that's assuming Titor's story is true. Some of Titor's predictions were on the mark, but most weren't. I'm also perplexed by how everyone around me seems to have forgotten about Titor's 2000 appearance. There's something important in Titor's tale. Or at least, I want there to be. I take out my phone and put it to my ear.
俺だ。聞いて驚くな。悪の陰謀の匂いを嗅ぎつけた。ジョン・タイターとセルン。その2つの言葉から俺が言いたいことは分かってもらえるはずだ。ああ、そうだ。奴らは機関とつながりがある可能性が高い。偶然だと？おいおい、あまり俺を失望させるなよ。何？根拠だと？そうだな。あえて言えばささやくのだよ。俺のマッドサイエンティストとしての直感がな。
Yeah. I mean, the Metal Upa wants to be convinced too, you know.
奴らは世界を滅ぼそうとしている。ああ、ミニブラックホールによってだ。だが、もしもその技術を俺たちが横取りすることができたら、どうかな？当然だ。俺を誰だと思っている？すべてはシュタインズゲートの選択だよ。エル・プサイ・コングル。
El Psy Kongru. Until next time, Metal Upa. I put away my phone, then turned to find Daro give me an exasperated look. What are you looking at? You should be used to this sort of stuff. Now continue smashing on the keyboard. Now, if I'm to think about my theory about John Titor being Rintaro right over here. Like, I'm thinking of what the John Titor said about how we basically stole some technology from CERN in order to create that, well, they stole some technology from CERN to create their own time machine. They reversed engineered some stuff in order to create their own time machine. Yeah, I guess so. We're going after CERN. Hey Daru, let's go for a trip to the Large Hardon Colliander.
お前は一体誰と戦っているんだ？
誰よ。俺たちのやるべきことは一つだ。
やるべきこと？なんぞ。
We're going on a trip to Europe!
なんぞではない。引き返すな。そこは全てを組んで、にやりと笑うのだ。でないと、スーパーハッカーらしくないだろうが。
I wanted him to say something like, well, why the hell not? So, what's in it for me? And then we continue like this, grinning slightly the whole time. Me, a week's worth of potato chips. Daru, 10 days. You sure are a glutton. The dive makes you a hungry man. Deal, get started. You got it, boss. Or something like that. Yup, a real cool conversation. But the real world Daru just purses his lips.
オカリンはいつも説明不足なんだっつーの。かっこつけるより先に分かるように話してくれ。
Work with me here, damn it!
お前はスーパーハッカーだ。
ハッカーって言うな。せめてハッカーにして。
あとは分かるな。
いや全然。
Oh, sorry. I got some email right over here. Another one from Mayuri. Just hearing that from Okari makes me happy. What do you mean that? You don't want to. I think like the reply was this: don't get angry. Next time I'll treat you to anything you want to eat. Let's keep buying more bananas for the sake of our experiments. Yeah, she's happy.
セルンにハッキングしろ。
Daru stares at me in disbelief.
それはひょっとしてギャグで言っているのか？
ダル、お前ならできる。奴らの悪事を暴き、タイムマシンについてのヒントを手に入れろ。
悪事ってオカリンの妄想だろ
う。電話レンジカッコ仮をタイムマシンとして使えるようにするか、このままただの打作としてラボの倉庫で眠らせることになるか、今が分岐点だ。
You are gonna be able to achieve this, Daru. You have to make us into Time Lords. You have to.
マジで言ってんの？
俺はいつでもマジである。
I look Daru straight in the eyes as I answer. Looks like that made him understand my position. Daru sweeps the garbage off his desk and sits up straight. I mean, Daru, you've seen these experiments for yourself. Like, we're literally talking about Time Machine. We're not talking about Rintaro's delusional Chunibyo spiel right over here. This is stuff that we could actually work towards.
どうなっても知らないぜ。
Suddenly, Daru is bursting with energy. It's like his earlier lethargy was a lie.
交渉成立だ。すぐ取り掛かってくれ。
うは、みなぎってきた。
報酬のポテチ1週間分はスイスの銀行に振り込んでおく。
We have a Swiss bank account? Daru doesn't respond. He's already deep in concentration.
じゃあ、俺は寝る。あとは任せた。
I mean, Rintaro has used a lot of his Chinibyo energies. He's got to restore those. And summer is not a good time because it's so goddamn hot outside. I lie down on the sofa and let the clacking of Daru's keyboard lull me to sleep. I look up to the twilight sun streaming in through the window. Alright, let's see how many emails we got from Moeka. Well, We got one from Faris. Kyoma, when operating in the mundane world, you're supposed to be discreet, yeah? You don't want them to notice you. Remember, the sun morning has taken 2,000 years to prepare. If it fails, everything will be ruined. Although I suppose that might make things interesting. Alright, well, there's like 4 ways we can reply to this. Akiba, part of the mundane world? Nonsense! This town has belonged to chaos for centuries, as it shall forevermore. Are you suggesting that I, the great Hokiona, run and hide? You risk my ire, cat girl. Is the church still devoted to that fool's errand? Even if they manage to resurrect their messiah, humanity's faith is less than 70% of what it was in his time. Mankind doesn't need decrepit old gods to say... I can't... Okay, there you go. Doesn't need decrepit old gods to save them. There you go. Me, Rintaro, and Daru over here, we're planning world domination by becoming Time Lords soon enough. Does it, will it be in sync with the Faris' mentality of dominating the world? I don't know what to respond to be quite honest. What are you scheming? Origin sin level rising to... Yeah, I am interested. Is there something in your mind? We gotta prepare the ground here. A refreshing breeze blows in, softly brushing my cheek. Daru is exactly where I left him before I fell asleep. He's sitting in exactly the same position. Not much has changed beside his typing speed. Oh, and now he's muttering to himself. I guess he hasn't had any success at hacking yet. I look around the room, but I can't find my Yuri. Maybe she's not coming today. I guess food-related grudges really do run deep. I stand up and stretch. I don't want to bother Daru, so I don't say anything to him. I take a cold Dr. P out of the fridge and quench my thirst. Then I throw myself back down onto the sofa and start browsing Ad Channel on my phone. And what perfect timing! Tyler is currently posting in the thread. Alright, here's to another segment of reading this stuff for like 50 minutes. Alright, what do you have to say today, John Tyler? The Everett Wheeler model is correct. Please look it up to learn more. It seems you're all still clinging to preconceived notions of time. Time does not simply run from past to future like a car on a one-way street. To be more specific, the laws of causality do not allow contradictions to occur. If the result of an event, the effect, is changed, the event itself, the cause, also changes to prevent the paradox. That's why there are so few people who can observe changes in divergence. Divergence being in the world length's percent difference from the standard. Well, there could be like the TVA that are trying to protect the sacred timeline or something like that, I guess. And the timekeepers. There's also those kinds of people, but otherwise, yeah, you're right. Don't die, troll. You claim to be a time traveler without any proof. Stock trends, please. I'm counting on you, Mr. Time Traveler. What is this? What is this guy with this stock? Didn't we get this sort of guy like before? Alright, Kurigohan and Kamehameha, please, give us something interesting here. If you can't observe changes in divergence, then how can you possibly measure it? Oh, I know. Your time machine has a magical device that measures it for you. Oh, and you still haven't explained how a research institute conquers the world. Details, box. No. Humanity is doomed. What else? What has science done? .jpg. Lol. Noobs responding seriously to troll thread. This Tyler guy is a shitty troll. Alright, and here's a whole wing Kyoma. Don't you people have anything to offer besides insults? How about contributing to the discussion, plebeian scum? Man, you guys are making a whole wing Kyoma more like a man of society than you guys are. And he's a Chinubyo. If you assume that time doesn't flow in a straight line, then the idea of time travel is much easier to swallow. I mean, the only one that is contributing to John Titor and us is Kurigohan and Kamehameha. If you assume that time doesn't flow in a straight line, then the idea of time travel is much easier to solve. In such a scenario, a time machine traveling to the past doesn't need to fight against the flow of time. I say Titor's points have merit. By the way, Titor, I'd like to know more about CERN. What can you tell us about their current activities? Yes, let's ask about CERN. We gotta do our research. Tell me which horse wins the next Emperor's Cup. I'll bet my entire life savings. Dude, this isn't a Uma Musume Fred right over here, or, you know, IRL Racing Fred. What are you guys doing here? Everett Wheeler model equals many worlds interpretation. Oh, really? Is that what it's also called? Basically, that means parallel worlds. Everett Wheeler model. What's with all the stupid name tags? This whole in Kyoma is more annoying than Titor. You call yourself John Titor, but you're fluent in Japanese. Writing in English would at least make it seem more realistic. You can't do English, can you? Can I ask you a favor, Titor-san? My mom died last year in the Shibuya earthquake. If I stop my mom from leaving home, then I can undo her death. So please, lend me your time machine. If only some characters from Higurashi had a time machine, it would have helped them. You gonna believe this time traveler? Without proof? Are you an idiot? Alright. No one seems particularly interested in what I said about time not flowing in a single direction. That's proof that your preconceptions are deeply ingrained. Honestly, it bothered me that you simply can't accept that as the truth. I'm starting to understand why CERN was able to take over so easily. Whenever a major event causes divergence to change, the timeline is reconstructed to prevent paradoxes from occurring. For example, let's say that a major event causes this roll line to diverge into a new roll line. Call it roll line B. On roll line B, I'm afraid to say, add channel never existed. As the timeline is reconstructed, all of your memories of reading and posting on add channel will disappear, to be replaced by memories of you doing something else. Ooh. I wonder if that is in tune with Rintaro's questioning of how come nobody else remembers Titor. Wait, hold on a second. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, because I'm always going to be wrong in this kind of story, but it's not necessarily that, okay, you have like two roll lines, and then Rintaro basically jumped into a different roll timeline with a already established past and a established future. In this kind of scenario that he's talking about, if a divergence is happening, that means that, well, if we're talking about a timeline that needs to fix itself after a paradox happens, if it needs to reconstruct, we're still in our roll line, but it just changes. So we are in the still in the same roll line, but like, and we are basically the same, but everything else changes around us to fit with the paradox that we created with divergence. So basically in this scenario, everybody else's memories got altered. It's not necessarily that we jumped into a roll line where this stuff never happened. Because it's usually like, you change the present, you are gonna change a pre-established future. Or if you go back in time, you change the past, then you will change the present. But changing something the present, you would change the past? I mean, like at first glance, it sounds kind of stupid to think about, because you don't change pasts by simply doing something in the present. Like, what would make something a divergence? That would imply that a roll line would already have like a pre-established past, present, and future, and nothing should change that. Everything is up to fate. And if you are to go against fate, however you managed to do that, we don't know. But if you are to go against fate, then you completely change everything. How we managed to do that, I don't know. I wrote about CERN yesterday. The only other thing I can say is that you must not believe their lies. Okay, I already read that. Okay, now we're replying to Kurigohan. I desire only to quench my intellectual thirst. Unlike you, closed-minded fools, I will reserve judgment until after I've heard what Titor has to say. And then I will make contact with Titor and acquire his time machine for myself. The great mad scientist Ho in Kyoma will have the last laugh. Suck it, sleazebags. Rintaro, you're not supposed to put your plans like right there for everybody to see. And it's not as if you talk to Tyler about this. He doesn't. I don't think that he's even gonna breathe now that you said it like this. Tell me, shut up. That's not reconstructing the world, you idiot. That's altering people's memories. Who the hell can alter the memories of nearly 6.7 billion people? Do you realize how stupid that sounds? I think I have noticed if someone went and screwed with my brain. And what does any of that have to do with the many worlds interpretation? Do some research. Lol. Micro black holes. Lol. Wait. The future's a wasteland? That means I can be a road warrior and ride a mod buggy, right? Look, I'll get me a mohawk. Anyone know where I can buy spiked shoulder pads? Eh. Can't say that I'm a big fan of that kind of environment. I mean, I watched Mad Max, like literally the first movie. I think I remember watching Fury Road, which everybody loves. I checked CERN's homepage. It says they've been experimenting since 2009. Can they really make black holes? What the hell's gonna happen? Does Tyler have a mohawk? God, that's fucking moe. Really? A mohawk as moe? Ugh. I really don't like mohawks on people. Are you implying our brains make the world? Are you saying the universe is a giant tree and we're branches of something? That's some Eva level bullshit right there. Go back to 2036. Eva? Evangelion? I have not watched Evangelion yet. John Tyler. Is this how you reply to a specific person? Thank you for showing me. Reconstruction of the timeline and alteration of people's memories. I think the originals say the same thing. Why are you so intent on saying they're different? Reconstruction of the timeline and alteration of people's... Okay, so he thinks it's the same thing. Interesting. Why are you so intent on saying they're different? With a few exceptions, nobody can keep their memories across world lines. They are reconstructed along with everything else when divergence changes. What's a road warrior? Oh? I'm immersed in a heated internal argument when an unfamiliar voice interrupts me. Is that, Oh, that's her. What was her name? Suzuki? Suzume? The door opens, and a girl peeks inside. I recognize her. It's the girl I met yesterday at the bar at Brown Tube Workshop. When our eyes meet, she smiles. Daro's typing gets even faster. Looks like he's in the zone. It'd be a bad idea to disturb him with our voices. I nod to the girl in a hurry outside. What was this girl's name again? I think it was something like Aroma or Amore. Alright, Amane. Amane Suzuha. Okay, Amane Suzuha.
今、我が相棒である天才が重要なミッションを遂行中なのだ。邪魔をしたくない。君たちって何してる人？前も言ったはずだ。俺たちの秘密に踏み込めば、貴様も危険に巻き込まれる可能性があると。未来ガジェット研究所って言うんだよね。なぜ知っている？俺は説明した覚えはないぞ。まさか貴様、機関のスパイ
？Rintaro, you do have like the tendency to talk like loudly as a Chunibyo, so I raise my guard and spring into praying mantis stance. I mean, it's not really that much of a surprise to, especially if I'm to learn about this like in the early parts of this, like I like the first chapter, even. But like, it's not a surprise to say, God, you suck at being like a hidden dude. Like if you're trying to hide from the organization or whatever. You're doing a pretty sucky job. But Suzuha just stares blankly.
下のポストにそう書いてあった。
そうか。
I lower my guard. Why didn't she should just say so?
知られたからにはしょうがない。簡単に説明しておこう。ただし、これは他言無用だ。
Suzuha nods firmly. Is it just me, or are her eyes gleaming?
我ら未来ガジェット研究所は世界を影から操る闇の機関に対抗し、その支配構造を破壊するために活動しているのだ。ふーははははは。
へえ。その闇の機関ってセルン？
そうだが。
おお、やっぱそうなの？あいつら抱きすべき連中だよね。
She nods to herself for some reason. And contemptible? I thought I was the only one who uses words like that in normal conversations.
なぜ俺たちが今まさにセルンにハッキング中だと知っている。
I don't think she said that we are hacking into CERN, dude.
ハッキング中なの？今？
Me and my big mouth.
いいからこちらの質問に答えろ。なぜ俺たちとセルンの関係を知っている？
あー、それは。いやー、実は昼間話し声を聞いちゃってさ、ここに立つと窓から聞こえてくるわけ。
The window. Come to think of it, it was open, and Dado and I were talking loudly. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of loud motherfuckers. But can you really hear us from here? I look up to the second floor. The window's still fully open, but I can't hear a thing. I guess Daro's working quietly. I look down. There's an unfamiliar bicycle parked in front of the Brown Tube workshop. One of those mountain bikes. Its frame is all sparkly. Its tires mostly clean. It's probably new. It looks pretty fast, but whose is it?
私、昨日からここで働き出したんだけど。
Suzuha opens the Brown Tube workshop door with a wry smile.
これが予想以上に暇でさ、今日だけで 4,5 回は外に出たね。客来ないかなーって店の前で索敵しちゃったね。
Reconnoiter? That's the first time I hear that word. Now there's a word you don't hear in a casual conversation. I'm pretty sure it means to perform reconnaissance. To scout an area and gather intelligence. Yeah. Is she some kind of secret agent? I follow Suzuha into the store.
その時に2階から君たちの話し声が聞こえちゃったわけよ。気になってついネットで調べちゃった。セルンの黒い噂についてもバッチリ知ってるよ。
Damn, we were careless. Oh well, you wanna join the future lab? Looks like we need to close that window when we discuss sensitive matters from now on. But if we do that, the lab will turn you into a scorching yell! Damned if I do, damned if I don't!
とにかく絶対に他言無用だぞ。
Or else men in black will raid us! Well,
あ、うんうん、わかった。これでも口は硬いから任せといて。
Suzuha grins and thumps her chest confidently. All is quiet inside the Brown Tube workshop. That gigantic TV isn't on. Mr. Braun's not here either.
店長はどこへ？
たった今、君のテレビの修理が終わって出てったよ。
He probably went to see the chipmunk. He disappears during business hours every now and then. Whenever I ask him where he's going, he always says something like, I'm picking my beloved daughter up from school, or my beloved daughter has a cold, with a huge grin on his face. Alright? One from Lukaku. I baked cookies today. I had everyone in my family eat some, and got their seal of approval. Would it be okay if I bake some for your lab friends, Master? Oh. And it would be great if you could teach me some more techniques with Samidare whenever you have time. P.S. I managed 10 practice swings today. That's nice. You mustn't depend on me. Remember, all things come to an end. Every meeting heralds a parting. I can't hide from the organization forever, and the seal on my arm grows weaker by the day. When I'm gone, you will have to take care of yourself. sure get along with your family. How many family members do you have anyway? Daru keeps insisting that shrine maidens should come in pairs. Well done. We warmly welcome your refreshments. In fact, you can come cook for us every day if you want. I'll even provide you with a maid uniform. Okay, well, we could go with this. We could go with this and hear about their family. Or we could go with this. Well, fan service aside, Lukaku coming to us with the refreshments would be lovely. So, I'm just gonna do that. He dotes on her too much. He probably just annoys her. Anyway, just how irresponsible can you be to neglect work to see your daughter? He used to put a back soon sign on the door whenever he left. But now he has Suzuha to take care of things while he's gone.
つうわけで、直ったテレビはこれね。
Suzuha lightly taps the TV on the counter.
お代は1000円でいいってさ。
Damn, manager. I bet he gave it to us just so he could charge repair fees. I mean, boy, you think you're gonna get it for free, man? Come on. I reluctantly take a bill out of my wallet and hand it to Suzuha. She takes out the receipt. Apparently, it was already written out.
毎度あり。じゃあ、持ってっていいよ。
まさか一人で持っていけと？
え？違うの？持ってきた時も一人だったんでしょ？
Don't you know it takes 10 times more effort to go upstairs than down? Defying gravity is no easy task, woman.
手伝ってもいいけど、そっか。もう力仕事も女がやる時代か。
I mean, as we established before, she herself is a black hole / a string. So, gravity? She has a shit ton of that, I bet. Okay. She mutters, her tone pensive. Cheh, how sarcastic of her.
誰も貴様に手伝ってもらおうなどとは思っていない。というより、貴様のような女子に手伝ってもらうことなど、この俺のプライドが許さん。
おお。
Yeah, says the person who asked previously, "Huh? By myself? What the fuck, man?" Man, what a complete 180. Applause.
今の男らしいじゃん。私惚れちゃうかも。
騙されるものか。貴様、嘘をついているな。
え？なんで嘘って思うの？
それは、この俺の能力の一つ。Coloring Gentleman が反応したからだ。
Coloring a gentleman. I learned this from my partner right over here. Ew, Sai Kongru. Okay, there you go. I guess I have to... Because I was thinking the same button would be for closing it too, but no, I have to press a different button for that. Ew, Sai Kongru. This power allows me to see through lies. Liars appear to glow red. And then they die.
能力？
Suzuha's eyes pop, but then she clears her throat as if to hide her surprise.
それって超能力的なもの？
When I nod, she whispers into my ear. Man, a lot of people keep mentioning espers around here.
あのさ、君みたいな能力者って他にもあまたにいるわけ？
いるわけがなかろう。この俺がスペシャルなのだ。
In a couple of ways, yes. I thrust my chest out as far as possible to display my majesty.
そっか、あまたにはいないのか。びっくりした。でもいるって時点ですごいな。やっぱセルンのせいで退化したのかな。
After muttering some nonsense to herself, she finally nods in understanding.
でもさ、戦闘になれば相手の嘘を見抜く力なんて意味なくない？やっぱ 1000メートル級の長距離狙撃を命中させられるとか、いかに効率よく相手の関節決められるかとかの方が重要だと思うな。
What the hell is she talking about? Is she a survival game otaku? You know, I love how people interact with Rintaro, like, to begin with in the story so far, like the characters around Rintaro. Because usually, like, if you are to think of a protagonist who is a little bit more, like, out there, which doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, like, you usually think that you have, like, a lot of down-to-earth kind of characters that are like, oh boy, Rintaro is talking nonsense again. Which, like, let's think of it this way. Daru is that kind of person, but at the same time, he is still helping Rintaro with all sorts of stuff. But like, Daru is like the one down-to-earth kind of person. Makise is like that, but at the same time, she is more than likely gonna follow up on Rintaro at some point because of the CERN stuff. Suzuha, however, here talks about CERN and all that as if it's nothing, like as if she's talking normally to Rintaro. Faris is in her own world, like in similar fashion to Rintaro. Moeka, she's more than likely a spy who is researching that kind of stuff for some other reason, or she is with CERN. So, like, I don't know. It's interesting, like the relationship that he has with everyone, and also Lukako. Lukako, he, they, they're basically Rintaro's student. So, like, a lot of characters, instead of questioning Rintaro and all this stuff, they are with him in these kinds of talks. We have Amane, Lukako, and Faris, who are basically on the normal side, talking to Rintaro and to an extent believing in all the stuff. You have Daru and Makisu who are on the other side, who are more down to earth and are gonna question some stuff, but are still gonna help him / be involved with him. Moeka, like Kiryu, I'm not gonna call her Kiryu. Moeka, that's something to be determined, but she seems to be the type of person that has a difficult time being finding friends and all that, so... And Moeka is in her own mission to find the Phantom PC, so chances are she's gonna be on that side of believing Rintaro in everything right up there. So there's 4 girls, 3 girls and 1 guy on one side, and there's Daru and Maki-san on the other side, which will eventually go to the other side. But yeah. Now wait, don't tell me.
貴様、さては機関のヒットマンだな。ミス・ゴルゴというコードネームで呼ばれているだろう。誰に雇われた？
Miss Golgo?
いや、誰にも雇われてないし。っていうか、ゴルゴって何？
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. She's trying to gloss things over with an insincere smile. Her confusing and suspicious. That reminds me, I think I remember her saying some awfully disturbing things when we first met yesterday.
ちなみにさ、君の能力って他にもあるの？
あったとしても、俺を殺しに来たヒットマンに教えるものか？
君を殺しなんてしないってば。
己の能力を他人に教えるなど、自殺行為にも程がある。力は秘めたるもの。相手に悟られぬよう使ってこそ、初めて最大限の効果を得られるのだ。